Hey, I'm Harry Mays, and in a gong show event on Monday Night Football, the Philadelphia Eagles come away with a big win because they made the plays they needed to make both offensively and defensively, and Green Bay made none.
Eagles check to Jordan Love will clear because no offense in that game, but it was actually kind of entertaining in the end. It is the Eagles squad show. Eagles Monday Night Football win over the Packers.
You are Locked On Eagles Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Eagles get a win in what will set the NFL offense back many decades in Green Bay. Tonight's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app at FanDuel.com. Harry Mays, Jason Martinez, Louis DiBiase from Locked On Eagles will join us momentarily as we insta-react to what is another Eagle win, another tiebreaker advantage over an NFC team.
Yeah.
And the game wasn't particularly pretty, Harry. Nothing at halftime. I think we'll have to do a half hour tonight because nobody scored in the first half.
It was a horrible game. It really was. And of course, like all the NFL games, on Sunday, if you watch the Red Zone, you'll watch, this garbage product for about 3.5 quarters. And then all of a sudden, everything gets tight in the fourth quarter and the game gets nuts. And then, that's what they're selling you. Oh, look at the competitiveness. But meanwhile, largely the game was crap. And that's what this game was. I mean, I appreciate defensive football, believe me. But I thought half of this stuff in the first half was offensive ineptness more so than great defense. I know,
really?
Joe. Yeah, I did. This quarterback for Green Bay is he's a dunce. Yeah. I know he's dealing with a short deck of wide receivers because they got a lot of injuries, but there were plays to be made out there, and he did not make them. And the Eagles,
bad decisions.
The Eagles defense was really good tonight. Don't get me wrong, but I'll tell you, this Jordan Love, I don't understand what they see in him. But whatever, the Eagles just like took Green Bay and just said, "See ya. You're not a part of the NFC playoff picture as far as we're concerned."
Yeah, you're probably going to be out before you have the chance to get to us.
Yeah,
and we'll see where it goes
if you're in at all.
Yeah, I mean they're 5-3-1 now.
Yeah,
Eagles 7-2 coming back from the bye.
Yeah,
did you think there was a little rust on the Eagles game coming out from the bye, Harry? Because it was a long wait.
It was a long wait, and you had this Saquon, the hamstring issue in the game against the Giants. So I didn't know what he would look like, but I thought he looked pretty good. But they were taking him off. He was coming off the field a lot. Like on third downs, they were taking him off the field.
Too much Bigsby.
They were doing a lot of they were doing a lot to Shipley. There was a couple of third downs where they're going to Shipley, and I'm like, really? That's what you got here? It was almost
Shipley,
like
3 to Bigsby.
It was almost like a give-up play in essence on third down in some of these situations where they were just like, we'll see if we'll catch him in a spot here on defense. We're gonna run this play to Shipley, or we're gonna dump it off to him, whatever, and we'll gain 4 or 5 yards and punt. And I thought it was kind of a weird game for the offensive coordinator. Like, what are you really trying to do here? Like, can't you get the ball deep? But I will tell you this: when this team needs to make a play on offense, they're either going to Goddard or they're going to Devontae Smith, and both guys come up with the catch. A.J. Brown is kind of an afterthought. He was an afterthought today. 2 targets. They were both in the first half. I think he had 13 yards receiving on those 2 targets. He didn't do anything. Nothing.
Actually, he was targeted 3 times because he had that
3
one
times
towards the end down the left sideline.
Okay.
When they went for it inexplicably.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we're going to save some vitriol because that made no friggin'
0 sense.
0. The analytics don't speak to it. If somebody has analytics that says that's the right thing to do, throw them away.
Yeah, I'm sure Nick does. I'm sure he's got it somewhere.
I'm sure. And people go, "Oh, you can't question the coach when they win." And
I can.
And Lambeau, you can. That
can.
could have been really costly.
Yeah.
But you mentioned it, Harry. Like I'm going to jump ahead almost right now. Devontae Smith is the game ball to me. He made some huge, I mean, the touchdown, obviously.
Yeah.
But he made a huge catch on third down and long, along the right sideline. And it's weird because you would never think he'd be able to operate in traffic and battle for balls, but he is great at it.
He's a number one receiver on most teams.
Yeah.
He really
He's
is.
number one here now.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think we could probably put him there. I mean, he's not built like a number one, but he is the number one.
Yeah, I mean,
because when this quarterback
wasn't built like that either.
When this quarterback needs to make a play in the passing game, that's who he's going to.
Yeah, for some reason he feels more comfortable.
Yeah,
Hurts was overthrowing guys all night or underthrowing them. Now the underthrows I understood because pressure was in his face.
Right,
he stepped into it. But the one to Calcaterra.
Oh yeah, he had him wide open, overthrew him. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, I look at the performance of Hurts. Let's look at it. 15 of 26, 183, 1 touchdown. He wasn't sacked in the game.
Had the fumble.
That was a great.
And they were driving. Oh, that was a brilliant play by the Packers defense. Yeah,
that looked like Peanut Tillman, Harry.
Exactly. Oh, nice reference there. Chicago Bears
he was
and
a great
Carolina
puncher
Panthers. Yeah,
yep.
He basically turned that into an art form.
He was the
peanut punch.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it was. You saw the dude just knuck up and just punch the ball.
And Jalen's elbow nor his knee was down. So that was a legit fumble. That was a great play by
When
Green
I saw
Bay.
him in real time, I said, "Oh, that's not a fumble. He was down."
But you could tell
you could tell
Hurts did not complain. He just sort of walked off like he knew it was a fumble.
Yeah, I felt all chesty and confident about it. And I see him like walking towards the sideline. I'm like, "Oh no.
Yeah.
That is a fumble."
Yeah, it's a fumble.
And they're getting down by the red zone. I don't think they got in the red zone until the third quarter.
They didn't.
Either team.
Neither team.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and Green Bay didn't make a third down until like the third quarter. That was incredible. They were like 0 in the whole first half on third downs, and the Eagles made their first 3 third downs because I'm like writing down, hey man, Eagles, doing well on third down, and then they missed their next 5. They were 3 for 8 in the first half, and you've frozen. What the heck is going on with your broadcast over there? You got to get these kids off the internet. They should be in bed. It's 11:30 at night. You're frozen. You're like the Disney movie right now. Hello? What are we doing here? I don't know what's going on. Jason is frozen. I'm going to try to reach out here and tell him that his signal is dead. But anyway, the Eagles find a way to win. There were a lot of things that you could pick apart in this game tonight. One of the things that I complained about and wanted to see a change in this second half was these offensive penalties that you constantly see where the guys are going false starts. Back. Oh, yeah, now you're back. Here we go. Yeah. I don't know what happened. Now you look like you're frozen again.
Maybe I'm back and Harry's
not. There you are. I'm back. I never left.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you back now. By internet, we're having this wind out here. I know you were talking about that third down, and then I lost you there. But what kind of grade would you give Hurts on this game?
I mean, I give him like a B.
He managed it, right?
Yeah, I give him a B. I know Green Bay's defense is pretty good, but I tell you, the crazy thing about it is Micah Parsons really didn't do much in this game.
Other than trip Barkley.
Well, yeah, he stuck his leg out there and tripped Barkley. And I'm glad you brought that up because I wrote this down as soon as that happened because this has been a culmination of things in the last couple of weeks. The officiating is just getting worse and worse. The officiating in that Giants-Eagles games was atrocious on both sides. They're missing calls. They're missing tonight offsides by both teams where the offensive line is moving on these short yardage fourth down plays.
Landon Dickerson was a mile early.
It's unbelievable. I don't know what they're looking at. I
You're
really
looking
don't.
right down the line. You would think that would be easy to pick up for the line judge.
It's really bad, and it's bad on both sides.
See, I don't want to hear banning the tush push because they can't officiate.
Right.
They
can't officiate anything.
Yeah. I mean, look, what how can you not see that they jump? That I mean, and look, this is on the Eagles too with Landon Dickerson.
Oh, yeah.
He jumped an hour early. So I look at that and I go, don't use that as your reference to get rid of the tush push because you can't officiate it. Figure it out.
They're going to get rid of it anyway, but the officials are. I mean, they stink.
Yeah,
they really stink.
Louis DiBiase joins us right now
there
from
he
Locked
is.
On Eagles. He does the daily, and you can check him out tomorrow morning as you do every day on the Locked On Eagles podcast. And Louis, let's get your instant reaction to this game. Harry and I were just talking about the performance of Jalen Hurts and in particular the performance of Devontae Smith. You're a Devontae Smith honk like we are. He right now, I mean, dare I say he's the number one receiver on the team.
Oh, absolutely. I think he is an all-pro player right now, and he is the most clutch wide receiver in the NFL, and I'm glad he's finally getting his flowers. Everything else in that offense was not working, and it just felt like he was willing this team to a win in the second half. It's always him, whether it's the Super Bowl, whether it's a big game in the regular season late in the fourth quarter, whether it's the national championship at Alabama. It just always feels like it's Devontae Smith that makes that exact play he made tonight. He's one of the most clutch players in the NFL, and there's a reason Howie Roseman built this team in the image of Alabama and Georgia. It's for moments like that. These guys don't shy away from that moment, and they make the play. So Devontae Smith, I think he's the wide receiver one of this offense, and I think he's going to be an all-pro by the end of the season.
The question is, I mean, 3 targets for A.J. Brown. One was that late fourth down call. Again, is he just getting lost on Kevin Petula's sheet? Because this is a game where if you need a guy in tight covers to battle for a ball, Harry, he's a guy you go to in one of those spots just to give you one of those good possession catches down the left sideline.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that, but like I said at the beginning, when this team needs to make a play on offense, they're going to Smith or Goddard. Yeah, Smith and Goddard are the guys that this quarterback feels comfortable going to. For some reason, and Devontae Smith, man, you throw the ball anywhere in his zip code, he's going to come down with the ball. Yeah. So,
which is unbelievable. I mean, this guy is 180 pounds wet, right?
Yeah.
And he's one of the best contested catch receivers in the NFL. Like his body control, the way he just doesn't move off his spot at the catch point for somebody that big or not that big is so rare. I mean, that catch is unbelievable. That wasn't a great throw by Jalen Hurts. I thought it was underthrown.
Yep.
It's very similar to the catch against
touchdown.
Kansas City. It's very similar to the catch he had against Kansas City to win that game,
go up and over the helmet of the trailing coverage.
He's got to go get it. I mean, that was an unbelievable play. And if I'm A.J. Brown, though, I do think he has every right to be frustrated. This is the exact kind of game you get involved your 6'3", 6'4" wide receiver that can make plays contested when there is no space at all in this matchup against 2 elite defenses. For him to only get 3 targets and 2 of them were in the first quarter and one of them was that prayer on 4th and 10, it's inexcusable. And if I was AJ, I hope he doesn't post some crypto thing on Instagram again.
But
I think he has. I won't be mad at all. I think he has every right to be. I mean, Kevin Petullo, the coaching staff in general, should have lost you this football game, but
they tried.
They did. It was the clutch performance of the players and the general manager's acquisitions last week that ended up being the difference.
Yeah, how about Jalen Phillips? How about the debut he had for the Eagles?
What a trade. He was great from start to finish. He made the game-winning play on 4th and 1. I mean, he was so good against the run today, which, his strength is the pass rush, but he shut down Josh Jacobs every time they came his way.
Yeah.
And look, Jacobs looked good on that one drive in particular where he ends up bowling into the end zone, and then he has to fumble later. But if Phillips came in and played well, Brandon Graham didn't see a ton of time. Harry, what was your thoughts on the return of BG? Was this year 16 or 17 for him?
Yeah.
That's insane.
He got in there on a couple of snaps and,
made a play.
Yeah, he made one play. So, I really wasn't expecting a whole heck of a lot. I was more interested in seeing what Jalen Phillips was going to give him. And, man, he gave him yeah, I was very encouraged by that signing or that trade, and I'm even more encouraged after I see him play in one game, and only being with the franchise a couple of days under Vic Fangio, his previous defensive coordinator. So he made a couple of plays. The defense, man. Jalen Carter batted down a bunch of balls. Hunt made a bunch of plays tonight.
Quignon did.
They were all over the place.
Quignon was
really
unbelievable.
were.
Yeah, I mean, that defense looked like the 2024 unit from top to bottom. This year, the defense has been good, but the front seven hasn't been that dominant all year long, where they were winning with 4 guys. Nakobe Dean's blitzes really helped them, especially on that last drive in the first half, but they didn't need to blitz today. I mean, Jalen Phillips played the entire game, and they were getting there. So that trade could really be the difference this year from them being a team that gets to the second round of the NFC Championship versus back to the Super Bowl and potentially winning it. I think that trade is that impactful.
Yeah. I tell you that this Love kid, he gets very skittish under pressure, man.
That's why I don't take the Packers seriously.
No, I don't either.
That happens all the time.
I don't at all.
Yeah, watching him handle that game in the fourth quarter made me not fear that team at all.
Right.
No.
Because
even at home.
Harry called it a gong show right away.
Yeah.
He's at home. He's got the crowd on his side.
Just think about it. I mean, they've played Green Bay in 3 very close games now in the last 2 years. And every single time in the fourth quarter, it feels like Jalen Hurts makes, even when Jalen hasn't been great for 3.5 quarters, he ends up making the play, and it feels like Jordan Love always makes the mistake. And that's happened now, it feels like 3 games in a row. It's why I think Green Bay, of all those top teams in the NFC, I still would put Detroit ahead of them and LA and maybe even Tampa Bay because, like Jason said, Love does this a lot. I mean, he did this against Carolina last week, against Cleveland earlier in the year. They have so much talent, but this is just kind of who they are.
So Nakobe Dean and Nolan Smith back. What'd you think of their performances, Harry? I thought Nakobe Dean made some plays.
Oh yeah, he made a lot. He
opened
made a
it
lot
up
of plays.
A little bit. Yeah,
Nolan Smith made his presence felt. I mean,
had the sack.
I think this defense. This was a really good night tonight. Now I know Green Bay. We got to say they were undermanned at wide receiver. I mean, you're missing Jaden Reed. You're missing Matthew Golden, their big speedy first round draft pick. Dubs got hurt late in the game with a chest injury. Tucker Kraft is gone for the year. So they were severely depleted, don't get me wrong, but this defense, they were like, screw that. I don't care. We're coming after you, and we're going to pressure Jordan Love into making a lot of mistakes, and he did.
Yeah, he complied, that's for sure. I thought, even when Dean wasn't – he just seemed like he was just buzzing out there. He was always around it. And that
buzzing's a good hockey term, Louis.
It is.
Yeah. He loves the buzz.
The boys get buzzing. They're up on their
boys
skate.
are buzzing.
Yeah.
No, but he was.
Check.
I do think Nakobe Dean has that starting job over Jahad Campbell right now. I think Campbell will play in a lot of obvious passing situations, but Nakobe right now, I don't think he's the better player. I think Campbell is still somebody I'd rather play the rest of the year, but he's the more sure-handed tackler. He's the better player against the run. He's a good blitzer, and Vic Fangio trusts him. So, especially after that performance, I don't think they're taking him out of the lineup. I think Campbell's going to be the rotational player now.
I think the biggest thing about this game is that the defense did what they did on the road like that, and we know how stingy they can be when they're playing like that. And there wasn't a lot of offense from either side, but this was just a battle of defenses. It became a battle of will. And that portends well for the playoffs to me.
Yeah.
And weather.
It was a rock fight. Nobody could score.
Yeah.
That was the first 0-0 first half on Monday Night Football since in general in 2 years, and on Monday Night Football since 2009.
2009. Yeah, the Browns and the Ravens.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
But that's the Ray Lewis Ravens at that time,
that's right?
I don't even know. I think he might have been gone.
He might have been gone already?
He was gone out of there.
That just goes to show you, though. Yeah. This team can win in any way.
Yeah.
They won in spite of a lot of things today, but that's
their identity, Louis.
100%.
Yeah. You know what I mean? We always want to talk about their offensive identity. Well, they a run team or they a passing team, whatever. Their identity is whatever it takes to win. That's what they do. It's pretty cool.
Aikman can't get enough of Jalen Hurts. He loves him some Jalen Hurts, and rightfully so. But Aikman's a bit. You never think of Aikman as a throwback, but he is a little bit of a throwback in the way he sees the game and calls the game. And I thought it was interesting. Before we get to our first time out, I want to get your thoughts on this because Aikman and Buck brought up their meeting with Jalen Hurts about A.J. Brown and said something like he's a really good player and he's here, and he left it at that.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little strange. And then Buck referenced the one-on-one conversation that Aikman had with him, but didn't give us any details. I think in what he omitted and what he said is really interesting to me. It really it popped out. He's a really good player, and he's here.
Yeah.
But he just kind of hard stopped there.
So what does that mean? Like, since the trade deadline came and went, he's still here?
Yeah, he's still here, and he's a part of this.
Yeah.
But don't look for any special dispensation because there's no love lost between the two.
I think he's gone after this year.
Yeah,
so do I.
Yeah.
I think this is it. Yeah.
So do I. But even if you don't like the guy, if he's open, throw him the freaking football.
And Jalen did miss him over the middle on that one play where he ran. He missed him a couple times. But again, it's not even on Jalen, though. For Kevin Patullo to never have A.J. Brown as like the primary target of it just feels like no play they call is meant to, maybe it's not going to go to A.J. Brown every time, but it doesn't feel like any of these plays are designed specifically
for
to
him.
Get number 11 the football. It feels like
that's what I would do going into a game. I would want to get him
especially again in a cold environment in Lambeau Field. And an elite defense is giving you nothing. This is the kind of game you need that kind of wide receiver. And I know Devontae Smith was the hero of the game for the offense, and he should be considered the better player right now, at least for this year. But to not have Brown a part of this game plan at all is a crime, especially with the way this was going as the game went on. Kevin Patullo, I thought, kind of turned back into a pumpkin today. I mean, he abandoned the under center play action looks, some weird play calling on second and third down. Yeah, he got conservative again a lot of times, force feeding the ball to Will Shipley in the first half. I thought
what was up with that?
It was just on all three levels of the coaching staff. I thought this was a really bad performance by the coordinators and by
off
Sirianni.
A bye week. Off a bye week, too.
And normally they're great with a lot of time, right? I mean, it didn't feel like they were well prepared.
The thing that's inexcusable for me is that you see how the game's going at halftime, and you still don't come out with a wrinkle to get him involved. Like, that's the thing. You got to adjust it. I just don't understand it. It feels like malpractice.
It's almost like they're intentionally avoiding him now at this point.
You would think. I mean, 2 targets
if we're
until
saying
the
that, how does
quarter?
he feel?
Yeah.
And it's not like the Packers have some elite Sauce Gardner, Quinyon Mitchell level corner. I mean, how do you not, especially again, it's not like anybody else is wide open. Just throw it up to him. I mean,
let him battle.
8 or 9 times out of 10, he's going to win that battle. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either. Let's take our first time out. We'll come back with more as the Eagles beat the Packers on Monday Night Football. This is the Locked On Eagles Squad Show.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends over there at Peloton. Look, folks, it's time to break through the busiest time of the year with a brand new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus that's powered by Peloton IQ. It's Peloton's most elevated technology and equipment yet that gives you real-time guidance, and it gives you endless ways to move, whether you want to work out by yourself or if you want to work out with your favorite instructor, like my personal favorite, Alex Toussaint. He always gets me fired up to tackle the day. And the thing I like about Peloton, it helps me achieve more in less times. They have features that help you plan, stay motivated, track your progress, and Peloton IQ also provides personalized workout plans and recommendations. That's something that I use right now during the busiest time of the year covering the NFL. They plan my workouts for me based on my mood, my vibe, and also my favorite instructors. So make sure you check it out and use it because it also helps you correct your form in real time, and it maximizes your reps. It counts your reps so that you can do it smarter, safer, and more efficient. Let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
All right, we are back as the Eagles coming off a Monday night win in Green Bay over the Packers. Eagles now 7-2 on the season. Let's talk about Lane Johnson because he left the game. That looked brutal, by the way.
Yeah.
The way he walked off and then walked to the locker room, I will say right now, scared the bejesus out of me.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to see him for the rest of the year after I saw that.
I thought it was a knee.
So did I, and they said it was an ankle.
Yeah.
There's been a couple times this year where I think to myself, Howie Roseman, the number one priority this offseason is finding Lane Johnson's replacement, because
Yeah.
every time he goes down like this, we can't feel like the team's going to completely fall apart, but that is what you feel when he goes down. Like outside of Jalen Hurts, is there a player you feel like if he leaves the lineup, things change more drastically than Lane Johnson? Honestly, I think that about Quinyon Mitchell on the other side of the ball a little bit too when he went down early on in the game, because I do not want a Dory Jackson and Keely Ringo out there at the same time, but it's Lane Johnson, and I really do think they need to invest a massive asset in the right tackle position this offseason.
Yeah, you got to find the heir apparent.
You have to.
Fred Johnson has been a decent
Serviceable
fill-in guy, and he's great as the extra
Not an
offensive
anchor.
lineman when they send him out there in those 6 offensive lineman packages and so forth. But yeah, you're right, Louis. I mean, I don't know, is it a first-round pick?
I think it's got to be. I
Got to
think
be if you want that level, right? He's a number 2. What was he, number what overall?
He was
2?
3 or 4
Lane was,
overall.
Lane was 4.
4. Yeah, with Chip Kelly's first year, 2013.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, he's been around a long time. There's I was watching him come off the field limping. I'm just thinking, man, does any thought enter his head like, all right, my body's had enough of this crap?
It does feel like it's
hauling
getting to
his
that
body around is enough.
Yeah, it does feel like it's kind of getting close to that Jason Peters level of.
But he's still playing great.
Injuries here. I know, but I think Jason Peters, like his last few years in Philadelphia, was still playing great, but it felt like every game hobbling off the field in the third quarter. He's dealing with something. Darius Slay was kind of like this last year too. There's always a year that comes where, and Lane Johnson's performance has not dropped off at all. He's as good this year as he's ever been, but eventually those injuries do come, and this one was a little bit nerve-wracking for a second. It looked like, I don't know, I mean, an ACL kind of movement when the leg hyperextends like that. I got nervous for sure.
And it comes back into the game at the end to try and lock it down. I was stunned the way he walked off the field. The thing is with him too, like when that offensive lineman's coming in and out like Peters was late in his career here, you almost don't know how to prepare because Peters gets the 1 snaps all week, and then it got to a point where you knew he wasn't finishing a game most times.
Right.
So the number 2's coming in a rush situation, filling in, but he hadn't worked with the number 1s all week. I hope that's not what it becomes for Lane Johnson.
And back then you had Jordan Mailata behind Jason Peters.
As a project, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So they don't have that guy right now at this point. Luckily, Lane did come back in at the end of the game, and it looks like he'll be good to go against Detroit. But yeah, I mean, like you talk about like Jenga pieces of this roster, you take that piece away and everything crumbles. Outside of Jalen, Lane Johnson is the number 2 guy. Like you need him out there, especially in a game like this where you got Micah Parsons on one side, Rashawn Gary on the other. When teams have 2 elite pass rushers, right tackle is just as important as left tackle.
Well, Howie, go find another 7th-round pick that never played football to replace Lane Johnson the way you did Mailata.
Right. Well, he took like 5 of them this past draft, so maybe one of those guys pans out.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, all this buzz about Micah Parsons, he didn't do much in that game tonight.
He was underwhelming.
Nothing.
The Eagles kind of shut him down every time they. Jeff Stoutland has Micah Parsons' number.
Yeah. Eagles are a 1.5-point favorite against the Detroit Lions next week at home.
I'm a little shocked by that.
At home.
Yeah, I thought that'd be 4.5. That's telling you something, huh, Harry?
Yeah, it is.
Harry's taking that.
Yeah, it is.
He already hammered it.
Yeah.
We'll see how much it changes, but that seems awfully low to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Why only 1.5?
Yeah. Now, one of the things that bothered me, and we talked about this on the squad show a week or so ago when we were coming back, during the bye, saying, what do you want to see change in the second half? And I focused on the pre-snap penalties that seem to constantly occur with this Philadelphia Eagles offense. And tonight we had a bunch of them. We had pre-snap penalties. We had penalties on, that Toth had a big holding penalty that called back a big run by Saquon. Your boy Ringo had a big holding penalty on a freaking punt, and it changed the field position by 25 yards.
Yeah.
Mailata is going, jumping off sides, false starts, this, that, and the third. And it's like those are the kind of things that I want to see this team really tighten up, in the second half before the playoffs.
And those are the kind of things that Nick Sirianni is supposed to be elite at, right? Is teaching the small details. Like if he's not going to call plays, those are the kinds of things that he needs to focus on for this football team. And like you mentioned earlier, especially with a bye week, you have all this time to prepare for them to be that sloppy from the first quarter to the fourth is just inexcusable. Again, the reason they won this game was because of the GM and the players. The reason they probably should have lost this game is because of the coaches.
Yeah.
Because of those penalties, a lot of self-inflicted wounds. And I don't know if we've talked about it yet or if you guys did before I hopped on, but what the hell was that decision on 4th and 10?
Fourth down. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Throw
we
it up to
tabled it
AJ
until
Brown?
you got here.
Like, if you're going to go for the win, why not throw on 1st and 2nd down? They were running
Made
out
no
the
sense.
clock,
Yeah.
killing timeouts. Then you punt it, right? But then
Yep.
to go for the kill on 4th and 10, just an insane, one of the worst called decisions by a coach I've ever seen.
Yeah. Really straight.
And he was conservative earlier in the game too. Like
That's what doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Nothing makes logical, like in sequence sense at all.
To me, it was like he was trying to fit square pegs in round hole all night.
Yeah.
To me, like it just-
Patullo too, both of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and well, he's a direct descendant of Patullo. How
course.
Sirianni goes, Patullo goes at this point. I don't know who's doing what, but that 4th down call, I mean, to shorten the field to that extent, to get a game-tying field goal was what I mean, that was Doug Peterson at his most idiotic before
That's
he
like
had
Doug
any-
Peterson week 3 in 2020 against the Bengals punting just to get the tie. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, what?
that's the last time I just could not. I was so bewildered by a coach's decision. I could not believe that sequence.
Harry and I were watching it here before we went live, and we're like, "What the hell are they doing?"
What is he doing?
So, Harry, I want to throw it to you. Play devil's advocate. What's the reason for going for that?
The
I don't
reason-
think you can play this devil's advocate.
No, I can. I mean, I really can't. I just, I mean,
you get it, you win, right? So I guess
of
that's
course,
the
yeah,
logic.
okay, but I
But
mean,
you haven't moved the ball all night.
the,
But in
the
my
team
counter
only
would be-
needed a field goal
Right. And my counter would be to what we were going for the kill. Why didn't you go for the kill on first,
On the first
or
down,
second
yeah,
down
yeah.
or third?
Yeah.
You were playing as if
Like
you
you did in
were
the Super Bowl.
killing timeouts to punt. So why on 4th and 10 did you switch up?
Yeah.
I thought they were going out there just to try to get him off sides. I could not believe that
Yeah.
ball was snapped.
When they snapped, and then the play call too was ridiculous.
Yeah, just a go ball to AJ. Was that just to keep Brown happy? Were they nervous he was going to demand a trade at the end of the game if they didn't throw it to him? I mean,
It made no sense for a guy that hasn't had a catch since the first quarter.
right.
Yep.
It just, I don't understand it at all. And some people say, well, they don't question a win. They still got the win in Green Bay on the road on Monday Night Football. Blah blah
you
blah.
can question things about
But
this
yeah,
one.
you
That was
won in
bad.
spite. You won in spite of the coaches today. Even Vic Fangio. Obviously, it would be crazy of me to complain about the defense today. They were unbelievable. But the Eagles finally score a touchdown, and Fangio acts like
He
they're up
backed off.
17 to 20 points.
Yeah.
And there's only a couple minutes left. There's still 9-10 minutes left on the clock, and he has the safeties playing like 50 yards deep. His corners are playing 15 yards off the ball. Why are we letting up now? They let him march right down the field and score a touchdown.
I remember thinking at that time, going, boy, he is not coaching for the shutout.
No.
They were just coaching way too conservative today, I thought.
Yeah, which is strange because he knows that if you continue to put Jordan Love in a position where he's got to make plays, he is not going to make them.
You
But he
speed his
let 'em.
clock, he makes mistakes, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was really strange.
Well, one of the other big plays on that scoring drive, though, Jahad Campbell had a pass interference on Musgrave.
yeah,
Yeah.
That gave him like
Legit.
21 yards. It
Which was a
legit,
that was a
yeah.
fair call.
Yeah, it
yeah.
was.
Especially when the Goddard one was called. They said that was uncatchable, but you don't know how far closer he would have been able to. It would have been a high throw.
Yeah.
I think it would have been catchable though, yeah. I
Yeah.
agreed with a couple.
He got
of those
mugged.
calls. Yeah.
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 That's
was
the
a
thing is it was
stupid
well
play by
before
the-
the ball got there. So that was on Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a stupid play by that kid.
Goddard in the game, 4 catches, 43. And you
Mm-hmm.
said it, Harry. It's clear he is a security blanket to the quarterback.
Yep.
There's just no doubt about it.
Yep.
Good again.
There's two guys he looks at, Devontae Smith and Dallas Goddard.
There's
And
a
when
reason
Saquon
those are the
claps.
two leading receivers in playoff history for this franchise. So
Yeah.
they
Yep.
just always step up in the clutch. And like Harry said, I mean, Saquon, that spin move was unbelievable to set up the Smith touchdown.
Imagine being
Oh,
able to
yeah.
play the game and think that quick to be able to do that.
And the footing of the field today was not good.
Oh, it was
Guys were
terrible.
slipping around.
Well, the Eagles were slipping. The Packers weren't.
felt like Super
You
Bowl
notice
50. I was
that?
getting PTSD to
Yeah.
Super Bowl 57.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
Was
the
it
weird
the
part?
Sod father here somewhere?
The sod father.
I thought something was that popped out to me on the Saquon run. Obviously, the spin move was spectacular, and that guy just whiffed and is like, "Oh man, I'm going to be on tape." with this huge whiff as he spin moves away. But A.J. Brown blocking downfield, I was like,
I noticed that too. I loved it
yeah, I did too.
because he could have been like, whatever. Just,
He shoved
I'm
the dude
not
almost
doing
into
anything.
the first
Yeah.
row.
That was
And-
great.
I was taken back by it because I was surprised, but I don't know if I should be.
No, I mean, I don't think J.J. Brown ever on the field is just dogging it. I think even
no.
last year, there
No.
were a lot of times he wasn't involved and he was blocking his butt off. I think Devontae Smith does a good job of that too.
Yeah.
I think Brown,
But that popped out to you too.
it did. I noticed that right off the run. I'm like, he's working here. I'm very impressed with that because it would have been very tough for me to stay engaged in that game if
I'd
I'm
have been
A.J.
like,
Brown.
Go ahead, dude.
I'd be like, go,
You're
you're
on
the
your own.
man. Go do your thing.
I was getting bored watching it. You imagine I
Yeah.
get bored playing it too.
Yeah, Aikman and Buck said this is one of the most entertaining scoreless games I remember in a long time.
Totally
I don't know that I
disagree.
was entertained. I was kind of frustrated.
Totally disagree.
Yeah, the way that it was low
I liked it.
scoring. If it was just because of the Packers' defense, okay, but the Eagles marched down the field multiple times and weren't able to capitalize,
Yeah.
which makes it frustrating. If it was just elite defense all game long, I'm like, I can appreciate that as somebody that loves football,
Sure.
both sides of the ball. But the Eagles shot themselves in the foot so many times that it made me not be able to enjoy that aspect of the game.
A quarterback fumble on scoring drives on both sides
Right.
tonight lends to that. I'm just like,
Exactly.
this is a little sloppy.
I've seen the 85 Bears. I saw the Ravens of the early 2000s. I've seen great defense.
yeah.
Okay? This was
Got your
this-
fix of that.
This
yeah.
was some inept offense too.
The offense was a bit
And
offensive.
stupid coaching.
Yeah. The Guy Lafleur.
Oh, LaFleur? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're not going anywhere.
He's tightly wound, that little guy, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
He was like staring into the lights at the end of the game. They showed it close. He's like
Yeah.
he looked glazed over.
Yeah.
He got to deal with this Jordan Love, who's
He
a
stinks.
mess.
I think he stinks.
Yeah, that's a flawed football team.
Yeah.
They kind of
Just
give
do-
me like old school Bengals vibes when they had, Marvin Lewis and Carson Palmer, and they
Yeah.
had a lot of talent, but this was just kind of who they were every single season.
Ocho
Green-
Cinco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Green, they were always kind of like the fifth best team in the conference.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's kind of Green Bay, I think.
You always go into the season and mention them, but then
You're
they
like,
just turn
maybe
out
this is the year. Like,
Yeah,
nope,
and
never
it
mind.
never
Seventh
is.
year we said that, and that was wrong. So
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it never is. that is the Green Bay Packers. I will say that Lambeau always looks good on TV, though.
it's
Oh,
beautiful. Yeah.
Have
It,
you ever
feels
been-
great to get a win there because
Have
it's
you been
so
there, Louis?
tough.
Did you?
No,
have
it's
you
on my
ever-
football bucket list. I got to
Yeah.
get there. Yeah.
Have you
Yeah,
been there, Har?
No, I've never been there.
Yeah,
No.
I saw the John Clark video of him driving up to the stadium.
In the neighborhood, it looked cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
and all the houses
Very
are like
college
painted.
football kind of
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah, a lot of pageantry and
Yeah.
like that more college feel to it.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like, I don't go to NFL games because it's to me, I enjoy the game too much on television because they do such a good job presenting
Agreed.
it on TV for the most part. But college games I like to go to because of that pageantry. There's just a more of a vibe there. I'd like to go to a Packer game just to see what it's like.
It's like small town professional.
Everybody walking
football.
out of their back
Yeah.
door to go to the game.
Yeah.
I think
Like
that
in
is
the-
kind of why I'm enjoying this kind of win there because it was in Lambeau, super
Yeah.
cold weather game,
Yeah.
And it
playoff
looks
atmosphere.
awesome on
Yeah,
TV, man.
it looks great. It's such an important game too for the 1 seed in the NFC. Like now you have tiebreakers over Tampa, LA,
Everybody.
and Green Bay. If you get this win against the Lions, I mean, you might as well hand the Eagles the 1 seed. What a huge opportunity next week. So that's why it does feel good, even with the mistakes, like to get that kind of win and to know you can still win that way too if you need to. It is a good feeling for sure. Like there is a lot of positives to take from this game.
I just didn't like the uniforms they wore tonight.
You didn't
I
like
don't
the black
You
pants?
don't like the
and
black
helmet?
helmets.
Oh, hate it.
I don't like the black helmet either. I like the
Hate
black
it.
pants with the
I
other
don't
helmet.
love the black helmet, but I like the black pants with the white jersey. I don't
Yeah.
like the green pants. The white on green is my least favorite.
See, I
They
would
just
go
look slow in that for me.
black cleats, black pants, regular white jersey, and a regular helmet.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fair.
good.
Yeah. White
That would be
pants, white jersey, green helmet.
Attaboy.
I do the white on white for me is the
Yeah.
best look on the road.
It's the cleanest.
Yeah.
It just looks clean. Coming up, we're going to discuss the defense. Is this a Super Bowl defense based on this performance and what we've seen so far this year? We'll discuss that and more. Plus, play ball is coming up, the plays that matter most and more. It is the Eagles squad show after a Monday Night Football win over the Green Bay Packers. All right, let me tell you about Rippling. All right. If you're a business owner, here's the truth. You got to make your work easier. Now, the average company is buried by hundreds of apps that slow down your teams and simply don't work together. That's where SaaS or that SOD software as a disservice. That's why you need Rippling. Rippling is the unified platform for global HR, payroll, IT, and finance, and it's all in one place. They've helped millions of people and businesses replace a mess of disconnected tools with one system designed to give leaders clarity, speed, and control. Now, by uniting your employees, teams, and departments in one system, Rippling removes the bottlenecks, busy work, and silos your software often creates. Now, everything from onboarding to payroll to IT access, it runs automatically and perfectly in sync. It's seriously very simple to use, and it gives companies one source of truth for their people, data, and everything they touch. Whether you want to run your entire HR, IT, and finance operations as one, or just fill the gaps in with your software stack, Rippling can do it all for you. Here's the deal. Right now, you can get 6 months free when you go to rippling.com/lockedonnfl. That's rippling.com/lockedonnfl. That's rippling.com/lockedonnfl for 6 months free. Terms and conditions do apply. All right. Defense. Offense wins games. Defense wins championships. Defense won the game last night. But have you seen enough, Louis, where you go with the additions and the play I'm not just talking about the trade additions of Phillips, but also the return of Nagobi Dean, et al., Nolan Smith. Is this now a championship level defense, at least in what we've seen so far, and pretend to see the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think it is. And they were the number one ranked defense last year when they were the youngest in football. Now you add Jalen Phillips, who, listen to these numbers from tonight: 8 pressures, 5 defensive stops, a 19.4 pressure rate, which led the team, a fumble recovery, in the game-winning 4th and 1 stop. Jalix Hunt got a sack today. Nolan Smith got a sack. Moro Ijoma, I think, is better this year than Milton Williams was last year. Jalen Carter had a couple big-time pass breakups. When you look at how good Quinyon Mitchell was, too, and the linebacker depth they have, yeah, I mean, the only question mark they really have still is that CB3 spot, but I think Adoree Jackson played well enough today to feel like he can be okay moving forward. But, yeah, I do think this defense, bringing in Jalen Phillips and getting all these guys back from injury, I think it's enough. I mean, this very similar personnel last year wrecked the Chiefs in a Super Bowl, so it would be crazy for me to believe that they can't be that team again.
Yeah, they held this team tonight to 3.8 yards per play. That is anemic in NFL standards, okay?
Right.
And I know they were undermanned, at wide receiver. I get all that. But still, I mean, they went in on the road and held a team to under 4 yards per play. That's really, really good. With a couple of new guys, I think this is Jalen Phillips. I'm really excited about that. And you saw Jalen Carter really make his presence felt. I think for the first time really this season, he really had a huge game. And he looks healthy. That's the other thing. Their linebackers are very active. You got 2 great corners. Louis talked about CB, the third cornerback spot. That's still a question mark. I get it. I saw Makuba being pretty active tonight, too.
I did, too.
At the safety position. So, he's sort of been in and out. He made 2 interceptions I think he's had so far this season, but you sort of haven't seen him make any plays. But tonight I thought he was involved. I'm really optimistic about the defense in the second half going forward.
Yeah, I thought Makuba was just around it when he needed to be.
Yeah.
And when he didn't need to be, he didn't stick out. You didn't talk about him because he didn't make a mistake.
Right.
It's kind of the philosophy with him. I thought Quinyon Mitchell, like I sent you guys a tweet on that one coverage, oh my goodness. Like the dude is a blanket.
Unreal. His ability to mirror, he runs routes for receivers and just stays in their hip pocket. I always think he plays the ball at the perfect time where it's not a penalty. There were a couple big plays on third downs late in that game in a one-score game. Yeah, over the middle where just gets right in front of his face and the receiver can't concentrate on the ball. You could make the argument he's a first-team All-Pro this year so far. I mean, we mentioned Lane Johnson. If he goes down, how things would fall apart for this football team. Quinyon Mitchell got hurt in the first quarter. I think Jalen Carter's like Harry said, finally dominated today. I think he's the best player in the defense. I might argue Quinyon Mitchell because of the depth of that position and what it would do to everything else on that unit is the most valuable player on defense.
That would be devastating.
It spots everybody in a role that they're not.
Because now Coop's got to move to the outside probably, and it just weakens everything. You can't shadow top receivers. Yeah, you got to completely change your coverage scheme. Yeah, Quinyon, I think, is the MVP of the defense.
The play he made over the middle and to get the left arm in the way he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he had him in his hip and just long arms, perfectly read, timed everything at a huge spot in the game. He just looks so chill, like resting heart rate of 46 out there. Like
that's huge.
Nothing
you need
bothers
that in the corner.
And they were going at him tonight, which I thought was pretty bizarre.
Stupid.
Like he was in on a lot of plays, and a lot of times you don't even really see him much during the game because nobody's throwing at him.
They avoid him, like Nnamdi Asomugha, Harry, when he was a Raider.
Jason, you'll appreciate this.
When he was a Raider.
What? Not here.
As a hockey guy, as a corner, you kind of have to have that calm, cool, collective mindset, but you also
can't react.
But you kind of got to be a crazy person too to play that position, right?
It's like a goalie,
kind of like a goaltender.
Yeah.
Quinyon's got that because he'll talk trash and get right in your face, but he never gets too high or too low. He kind of has that Jalen Hurts to him, but he does have a little bit of crazy as well. Like, I just think he's the perfect corner for this team.
I think you nailed it. It is like a goaltender because any other players have a bad game, it kind of falls in to the team having a bad game.
You got to be a goldfish.
If corner has a bad game,
it's all on you.
Yeah.
No, the crowd's cheering and you're on the road.
Yeah,
and
it's a lonely pursuit. Playing corner or goalie. Yeah, because you're on an island. Yeah.
And like for him, he's dealing with the best the opposition has. Game
Always.
in and game. There is no time for even a depleted Packer team. There is no time for him. He is going to deal with the best weapon they have out there, game in, and it's unrelenting because every team's got one for the most part. And to me, like his ability to make a play, reset, and be ready for the next play is unbelievable. Like the mental game that he has to play.
If he can start catching the football and making interceptions, he could be the best cornerback in football.
Yeah, I think it's just read on the plays is just so elite. Like
the anticipation's perfect. And it's not easy to play in a Vic Fangio defense. Like there's a lot of corners that have come in and they've struggled with it, right? Because it's not just see the guy, cover him. It's a lot of anticipation, reading passing lanes, and Quinyon has that.
Well, the other thing, too, you add Phillips, now you have Dean back, and you have Nolan Smith. How much of those guys up front and like
Brandon Graham,
add him in
there. Yeah.
And those guys up front playing the way they did with Jalen Carter, too. Like, that's going to help the secondary even more.
No question.
Right, because, again, now you can win with 4, so you're not going to have to – the blitzes did work today with Dean especially, but you're not going to have to rely on those as much as you did the first half of the season. Like, they won with 4 today consistently, whether it was a defensive tackle or an edge rusher getting there. I thought everybody in that front 7 played well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really flustering number 10.
Yeah.
A lot of those third downs, man. He was under duress.
In a way, like you're almost glad that this was a defensive battle because I think we got a lot of data on the Eagles defense. This is like part 2 of the defense this year now, with the guys returning, Graham coming back, the trade for Phillips, all of that stuff. Like this is the group you're going to battle with for the rest of the year, and they passed the test.
Yeah, I think the Phillips trade is going to be very similar to when they got Jay Ajayi in 2017, like the missing piece, like, okay, this can put us over the top.
Yeah.
And they needed Ajayi. When Carson Wentz went down, like they couldn't throw the football. Ajayi kind of carried them for a little bit there to lock up the 1 seed.
Him and Phillips together.
Yeah. They haven't, Howie hasn't always hit on the deadline since then. Like a lot of misses. Golden Tate, Kevin Byard, Robert Quinn.
Yep.
But this
Byard.
one feels, Byard was brutal. This one feels more like Ajayi, though, where it's a young player that's still ascending. And I mean, the good thing is, too, he knows this defense, so he didn't have to be on a pitch count today. He played more than pretty much anybody on the edge.
Yeah, that's a huge factor that he comes in and knows kind of the role and what he needs to do. Yeah. And he comes in and hits the ground running. And not only that, but he could be part of your future, too.
Howie Roseman should be on the phone tonight trying to sign him to an. And if I'm Phillips, I'm not taking anything because I get
I'm waiting.
Bag
I'm
in
playing
the
it out.
But,
I'm playing it out.
But if I'm Howie, I'm like, you want to do a deal now? I'll give you 24 a year. Sign it right now. Let's do it.
Yeah, and I'm calling my agent if I'm Phillips and going, I'm playing next to this Jalen Carter cat.
Right.
Let's wait to the end of the year because I'm going to feed
And his ability, Jalen Phillips' numbers are so good when he stunts to the inside and takes on guards and centers. And that stunt play with him and Carter is just so lethal together.
Collapses.
It's a fun defensive line now. That was a concern with their depth, but I mean, Brandon Graham's your 5th edge rusher. He looked a little bit out of shape to me today, but he'll play into it, I think, as the year goes on. And that's your 5th guy. I mean, Josh Uche, I don't even think he even played today.
I didn't see his name or hear his name called once, and I didn't see him out there.
You got a lot of options.
They had 3 sacks and 8 quarterback hits tonight on the defense. Ajomo had 2 quarterback hits. Nolan Smith with 2. Jalix Hunt 1. Jalen Phillips 2. And Nakobe Dean with 1. That's the hits. And, the sacks, of course, we know Hunt, Dean, and Nolan Smith.
Yep.
Yeah. How about
Ajomo,
that?
by the way, called out the 4th and 1 play. He said inside, they had him mic'd up. You could hear him.
Inside zone.
He said inside zone this way, and it came that way, and Phillips made the play. So
yeah, that's a dude.
Pretty cool moment.
Saw it on tape. Saw everything on tape, and got after it. The thing too is being able to get into the backfield without having the blitz, and like you're going to get Goff this week, right?
Yep.
And you got to be able to get pressure.
That's a very lethal passing game they've got.
They look great. I know it was Washington.
Gibbs is one of the best players in the NFL.
He might be the best running back in football right now.
Yeah.
Let's take our last time out. We'll come back with Harry and Louis' plays that matter most, and we'll hand out some game balls as well. After the Eagles get a Monday Night Football win over the Green Bay Packers, they move to 7-2. They own tiebreakers over everybody and their cousins at this point in the season, through 9 games and back from the bye. We're back after this on the Locked On Eagles Squad Show.
The Locked On Eagles Squad postgame show is brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of the game, you want to ride the hot hand, Tyrese Maxey, maybe it's Edgecombe, bet on those 76ers right now. They're kind of cooking. FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a much bigger payout. It keeps every game that much more exciting, especially when your team is making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving out new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Real quick, before we get to the plays that mattered most, what was Gibson doing on that one punt return?
I have no idea.
People
on Twitter were telling me that it was actually a smart play. I couldn't think of the logic behind it. I don't know. Maybe because there was nobody. Maybe because if you escape the one tackle, you're home free. But you're on the 1 yard line. That is such a risky play in a game where every point matters. I thought that was an insane decision.
I did too. I did not like that at all.
But that was where Melton got into the end zone and didn't reestablish himself.
No, right. Yeah, his right foot was on the.
Yeah, it was on the line.
He cut his toenails last night. He was reestablished.
Yeah, how about that guy? He's a defensive back, and they actually went to him on a third down,
offensively.
A key third down as a wide receiver. He was the guy who got the ball. It hit him right in the chest.
Felt like the 2019 Eagles where they're just, can you play receiver? Let's find out if you can run a route. I mean, they were just desperate.
You look like you had Belgian waffles for hands.
It was a 4th and 9 near midfield, and they went to him, and the ball went right between his hands, right, and it hit him right in the chest.
He used to be a Rutgers receiver.
Yes, he was Rutgers. That's exactly
right.
He was a Scarlet Knight.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Harry, I don't know if you have your play chart there, but the third down catch from Devontae Smith is my play that mattered most. Obviously, the touchdown, but that third down catch.
No, I'm going the third down to Barkley for 41 yards. The dump off pass that he ended up running down the left sideline for 41 yards that put him in play to make that touchdown to Devontae Smith. That was my play.
That was a huge play. He just flares out to the left, and you can see him clapping.
Yeah.
And Jalen was like,
Jalen didn't even see him for
Give me the ball.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to find him and got it over there. Yeah. And by the way, that throw was low. Like, that's a good catch by Saquon.
It was a scoop.
That's an incredible play, and it set up the game-winning touchdown. I think the Jalen Phillips stuff on 4th and 1, just so massive. I mean, that kind of play is I don't want to say easy for offenses to convert, but a 4th and 1 at midfield at home, like that's a really tough spot to be in for the defense. And they've been playing all game short 3-and-outs for the offense over and over again. And the new guy makes that kind of play against the run when he's more of a pass rusher. Unbelievable. And I think, again, Howie Roseman is the hero of this game because without that trade, without that trade, you probably don't win this game.
Right.
Did you see the teammates' reaction to him making that play? Like, everybody was coming up to him on the sideline.
He does fit in great. I mean, some of the mic'd up videos of him in the locker room this week were funny. He seems like he
loves
going
BG.
Well. Yeah, this isn't some Orlando Scandrick move where he's just a snake in the locker room.
All right, let's hand out some game balls. Devontae is the obvious one, but who you going game ball? Who gets the Louis locked on Luigi game ball for this one?
I'm going to go
That's
Jalen
a special
Carter.
ball with a white panel, by the way.
Yeah, I think the obvious one's Devontae Smith. You could give it to Jalen Phillips. I'm going to give mine to Jalen Carter. I think, again, in the box score, you're not going to see the impact that maybe some other players make, right? You're not always going to see 3 to 4 sacks. But I think he made some big plays today in the interior to open up the rest for Moro Ajoma's one-on-ones, for Jalen Phillips, for Jalix Hunt, Nolan Smith. Had a couple big pass breakups early on in the game to keep them off the board. I just think Jalen Carter doesn't get enough recognition, and the last 3 weeks he's really been starting to heat up and get his legs underneath him. He's starting to look like the 2024 Jalen Carter again, so I think the obvious ones are the guys that made the plays in the fourth quarter, but Jalen Carter is just so instrumental to what this defense does.
We talked about it, that the bye week, him missing some time with the heel and the shoulder, he's going to be a beast in the second half of the season. He started it off tonight, gangbusters.
For sure.
Harry, is he getting your game ball as well? Because I know you're beating the Jalen Carter drum.
Last year I was on a week-to-week basis. This year he is either not performed up to his capability or been hurt or been unavailable for games due to some stupid decisions. So I mean, I'm a big fan of his, but I got to go Devontae Smith, man. I don't know, man. Like this dude just keeps making play after play after play. Whenever they need a big play, he comes up with it, and it's almost like he's still one of those guys where I'm so focused on A.J. Brown. Maybe it's because of all the drama where I want to see them start getting him the ball, and it's like, man, it ain't happening. Oh, here comes a big play. It's Devontae Smith who makes it. I'm going with Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I'll give some to Dallas Goedert because I thought he made some really key plays at key times, and this dude's just driving up the number.
Yep.
And you're looking at the way if he stays healthy and he can continue to have a second half like he's had so far, you got to talk about re-signing him.
I was going to say, talk about another guy earning an extension. Dallas Goedert had to take a $4 million pay cut this offseason, and that's not going to happen next year.
No, the agent's like, that's not happening again.
He's like,
dude.
We're unrestricted free agents now. Like, we're going to go get the highest.
We got the control.
Yeah.
Somebody on the chat thinks Louis deserves the game ball.
Why is that?
You see this? Patrick Gavigan.
Must be a big fan. I don't know.
I love it.
Just loves my Quinyon Mitchell takes.
I can't disagree.
I don't disagree.
Maybe that's actually Keely Ringo disguised as a guy named Pat Gavigan.
And that's his burner.
Yeah. It's Keely's burner.
Yeah.
Because I didn't say anything about the penalty. I didn't say anything.
No.
Well, the thing is, they're 7-2. And despite some uneven halves this season, and it wasn't an offensive dynamo last night, they're 7-2,
and
they
a
hold every
stupid decision by the coach at the end of the game. They could have put that game into overtime,
and yet they just keep like Harry said it best earlier. They just find ways to win, and that's their identity. And it's not against like just bad teams. This was in Lambeau against a
Monday Night
Packers team on Monday Night Football. You can't score any points. You make these ridiculous decisions, and you still find a way. Like this team, they always find a way. That's why Howie did what he did, building the way he did on both sides of the ball.
It's because Howie's building the team and the identity of the quarterback.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what the quarterback is.
For sure. It's a great point.
There's no two ways about it. So the Eagles win. They go to 7-2. Next week, it's Sunday Night Football.
Right.
As the Eagles will host the Detroit Lions. These
Buckle
late
up, boys.
Nights.
Some late shows coming up.
Oh, my.
Harry not teeing off till at least noon. It's a problem.
I saw the advertisement today. They got a Monday night game this year still against the Chargers.
They do?
They do.
Oh my
Ah,
god.
jeez,
So-
enough.
Oh god.
I'll have to cancel my Fubo free trial after this game too.
Yeah,
by the
me
way.
too.
YouTube
Me
TV
too.
did not get the job done, so
Me
don't forget.
too.
Yeah, don't forget.
Yeah, I got the 5-day free trial.
Yeah,
I got
so-
the 30. I had a 30 bag. Start your podcast every day listening to Louie. Wake up, Locked On Eagles. Louie's got you covered all week. We'll be back next week for an Eagles Squad show. We'll have one this week during the week, and we'll
Yeah.
also have, obviously, the post game coming up on Sunday Night Football. Everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is the Locked On Eagles Squad show.